I am here. Gem Collectors with Shawn. I am Shawn. And you know what? Happy Halloween to all of you. And you know, I know this week was difficult for you to find the show, but all of you did. And you manifested the complete show from the brain power and your desire. And that's all it took. And magically, it went from an hour and 3 minutes to poof, the whole show. You know, that's why we're called humans. And that's why we're not robots, because none of us are perfect. And not sure what happened, but all I know is you got the whole show. And even if you got it in parts, that, well, as the ketchup commercial would say, anticipation. Thank you for your patience and for not too many unkind comments. No, let's get to those comments. There's a lot I want to do, and unless I start, it'll never get done. All right. Oh, by the way, yes, I'm wearing a Halloween ring. I'll show you closer later, but it's not mine, of course. It's the Ravens. And she has some other things that she brought. She is decked out today because this is like her Halloween. And you know what? She should have come on air. But whatever. She looks really cool. She's got gray hair, which she normally doesn't have. Maybe a little. But spiders in her hair and, well, anyway, doing the whole ghosty thing. I think that's her favorite holiday. All right. Let's get to, okay, first, the trivia questions. All right, so the trivia questions from last week were, what mineral creates the star in corundum? Ruby or sapphire, that's what corundum is. So, but it's not corundum, which is Al2O3, aluminum oxide. That does not create the star on its own. It takes another mineral, and that mineral, the answer is rutile, which is a titanium dioxide. It's funny because Al2O3, aluminum oxide, in lapidary work is a great polish. It is used for polishing pretty much everything up to the hardness of 9. If you're polishing something like topaz, it takes a little longer. That's where, you know, I love diamond compounds and the different grits because, boy, you can polish anything. On the softer stones, actually, it is sometimes actually easier to get a better polish using other unusual oxides, like cerium oxide. And they have chrome oxide. It's a green polish that makes a real big mess, but a lapidary has a lot of different choices to find out what they what they like. And once I discovered diamond, I never went back. I do have the others, and I do use the others for certain different jobs, but diamond compound is wonderful to use. So aluminum oxide, ruby and sapphire, ground up in different grits. Wonderful, wonderful polish to use at the lapidary bench. And then titanium dioxide. You know, rutile, titanium dioxide in itself, one of its biggest uses is as a whitener for paints to put in your house paint. And who would have known? So it has also wonderful properties in itself. So those two kind of go well together. By the way, before I forget, Rockin' Gem, if you do not have this magazine, you really need to get it. And I promoted it before, and a lot of you did get it, because it not only supports the one little magazine that we have, Lapidary Journal is the other one, and I get it as well, but Lapidary Journal, a number of years ago, pretty much, I don't know, a lot of it switched over to more jewelry and crafty things than lapidary and field trips and things that I really enjoyed it. But I support that as well. Rockin' Gem, that is for the real rock hound. And I have been invited actually to write an article for it, and they actually pay money. And so when I get time, I know what I want to write the article about. I just don't want to wake up one day with 1,000 people in my backyard. No, it's going to be about the discovery of gold. So that one is another one of my projects one day to do. In this one particular magazine alone, it is turquoise, American Southwest turquoise, not Tibetan turquoise, not Chinese turquoise, American Southwest turquoise, which is, primo stuff. It's, highly educational. Then there's another article right there, how to hand polish rocks. How many times have I talked to you? I even brought in a few weeks ago the simple little kit that you can get at any drugstore for doing your fingernails, ladies. Little battery operated unit. You would not believe how well that something like that can work on softer stones. Of course, it's naturally going to be used for your nails, which are about a hardness of 2.5. You can get diamond compounds. They're $5 a gram for a tube, and you can apply those onto different cotton wheels and turn that little battery operated unit into something that polishes even much quicker. Modify it. You can buy a Fordham flex shaft for hundreds of dollars, or get one of those little kits. They have all these neat little diamond bits for those kits. You can sit there and watch your favorite TV show while you are literally sanding, polishing, cutting. And you know what? You don't have to do something really precise. Cut a free form. Just start with a free form, something that speaks to you, and polish it the way you want. Opal, what a great stone you can do while watching TV. So, if you're looking at hardnesses of 5, 5.5 around the opal range on down, that would, due to speed and the torque, works really well. Once you get to the higher hardnesses, you need more torque. In other words, be able to apply more pressure, and you need more revolutions. It needs to spin faster. So it would make it harder to polish those things. So, but there is so many softer stones, everything from malachite, rhodochrosite, opals, just go through the hardness scale, and you can enjoy. I haven't read that article yet, but I know I probably could have written it because I've been doing hand polishing for forever. Sometimes it's my preferred choice as opposed to using all the fancy equipment I have, which, if I could, I would love to haul out equipment right here, slap an item number on it, and sell my equipment that is so expensive to buy. And I have so much of it, I could open up a jewelry school. As a matter of fact, some of it came from a closed jewelry school. And, how many rolling mills do you need? How many steamers do I need? I think I have 6. I kid you not. More. Maybe there's a couple I probably need to fix or whatever. But, that's just it. Other jewelers will say, this is broken, I'll buy another one. So they would just say, here, take it, it's in the way. And would give me my steamer. And then some of them, all I had to do was reset the breaker. Anyway, all in what you know. Okay, let's get to these comments, and then let's get to the good. So question number 1, that was what caused the start. Question number 2 is, when a mineral replaces another, it is called a what? A pseudomorph. A pseudomorph. And we have seen that. I've showed and offered you pseudomorphs, which you really need to take advantage of relative to the value of them. And we'll talk about that because I'll show another one, and we have a question regarding that in the comments as well. So let's get started. All right, so first part is dealing with the comments from where everybody's looking for the show, or the whole show. Miss Barbara, it's almost 4 p.m., no show and no message. What's happening in Shawn land? Hope all is well. Well, unbeknownst to me, until I got a call from my cameraman, Dave, who put me on to the fact that, because you know what Dave does? He actually goes back and he looks at the show, and he looks to, at the actual show, that he shoots here, and of course he does a lot of the live shows as well, which actually every evening in prime time up until 10 o'clock, he is the cameraman during the week. He goes back and looks at this show and sees where he can improve a shot, or maybe where he missed something that would have been cool. Because so many times I'm talking, looking down at information I have in front of me about an item, and he'll be cruising all around the specimen. I won't even know that he's already given you a tour of it, and well ahead of me. So it's kind of neat that he just runs with it, because he knows the neat places to look. He also has the bug and has been out rock hunting. And then today we have Latif. We have Latif doing the graphics. Latif, as I've told you before, he has faceted many stones, and he was under the tutelage of the other Shawn, the cutter, a number of years ago. Doesn't have his own equipment, but it wouldn't take any time for him to just jump back in the groove if he did. And yeah, I got a lot of talent right here before me. All right, let's go. So Barbara says that. Then we have Miss Barbara again. Thanks for the 6:30 p.m. show drop, but it's only 1 hour. Through the fibrous malachite. Then abruptly stops. Oops, is there a longer version? You hardly got to sell anything. I know. When I heard that first, I thought, okay, come on, there's got to be more. Barbara then says, Then we have Miss Cindy. Hello, Rock Family. Show stopped at 103 minutes. I'm hoping for the rest later. If not, Peggy, I hope you're recovering from your surgery. Congrats on the trivia prize. Trivia envy for sure. Love the skull ring. Happy Halloween to all. 2 husbands, not in this life. I would lose my mind. The one I have has been a 50-year date that started when I was 15. I think that's a great way to put it, and congratulations to you. 50 years. Wow. I think you could add up all mine together and you wouldn't get to half that. No. And the 2 husbands is a reference to a typo made in the comments last week. So that's pretty funny. But that's a neat way to put it. A 50-year date that started when she was 15. Boy, that is love and commitment, Miss Cindy, and quite impressive. And truly, I mean that. Harry says, hi there, cool cat Shawn and cooler cat lovely Raven. How come she always gets the cooler, the better, the prettier, the wiser, the smarter? She gets all those. She gets the superlatives. I get something less than. And all you cats from GSN, as well as the growing audience with whom all of you I love so much. And first comment is about the Indian scolecite. With Dave on that camera and the beautiful specimen, I will just mention again the fact it wouldn't even occur without the professor whom procured it. That's me. Nice piece, Shawn. There are credits given all the way around. Oh yes, Barb, good grab on the pyrite cube. And enjoy it. Maybe coat the pocket it sets in with some thin shellac, really thinned out, and just to hold it nice as a solid matrix. That cube is really nice. Enjoy. Oh, I forgot. I did end up taking a bit with my sister on how I mentioned her to our rock family, and she was very warmly comforted with the caring on her well-being. I also have sort of good news. I am slowly feeling better. Phew, did go to hospital for oxygen therapy, and it helped. It does help. As a matter of fact, we do a little oxygen therapy around here too, but don't tell anybody. Of course, being a goldsmith, I have a whole tank of oxygen. And the funny thing is, if you can get medical oxygen versus commercial oxygen that you use for like a torch, let me see. Last I checked, oxygen is oxygen. There's no different levels of quality, but the green bottle does look newer and nicer. Seriously though, the difference in the amount that it costs is crazy. But, wow, a lot of people don't realize that our environment is only 28% oxygen. It's basically we live in a nitrogen environment. So if there are any aliens that ever come to this planet and they are nitrogen breathers, boy, we are history, because this planet would be perfect. There was a time, pretty much it was during the Carboniferous time, when so much of the hydrocarbons were created from trees, and there were so many trees on the planet that there was such a higher level of oxygen than there is now. There were dragonflies with 6-foot wingspans. There were 6 feet long centipedes. Insects have a difficulty taking in oxygen. So when the period of evolution on the Earth was such that it was a very life was mostly just insects and lots of trees. It is those trees, of course, that later became our oil deposits, our natural gas deposits, our coal, these hydrocarbon sources of energy that we use now. But that higher level of oxygen allowed a lot of other things to get a lot bigger. We only have 28% oxygen in this, in what we breathe. So when you see that mask go on somebody in an accident, first thing they do, or if they go to the hospital, first thing to do is put a mask on, 100% oxygen. It would have to be better, easier, and the body make a difference, all right? Versus 28%. You have to go through a lot less effort to breathe in and get the oxygen amount that you want. I say all this because I have access to that pure oxygen all the time. And I have been known to take an oxygen therapy, and Harry, that's probably what you could do if you've got a torch, which you probably do, and make a little mask for yourself. And, when you think about it, it's like, okay, medical oxygen or commercial oxygen. I just don't see how they could do anything different to the element of oxygen for purity. It's either oxygen or it's something else. So I haven't gassed myself out yet by doing oxygen therapy yet, but I do find that 10 minutes of, even less, 5 minutes of pure oxygen, woo, makes a difference. Okay, so his let's see, he is slowly feeling better. This is Harry. Phew, did go to the hospital for oxygen therapy, and it helped. Miss Peggy, you are on my prayer list, and please feel well soon, as well as the many pains and dynamics in all of our families. It's great to have so many things to pray about. Prayer changes everything. Hey, Charles, I had no clue, and I do not recall he mentioned this at all during the program. I say this because I take a lot of notes. And can find answers usually. Dravite alert. This comment you made, Shawn, on this material's durability as well, like black spinel. And we know I have good experience with the black spinel because I got some wonderful material from you, Shawn, and I'm cutting more stones from the remaining hunk of that black spinel. I'm cutting pairs to put together some drop earrings to put in sale stock. So nice to know I can try the Dravite tourmaline as well. Nice vanadinite. Wow. Oh yes, definitely standing outside the restrooms selling origami snapping turtles. That is a great use of the word. So if you remember last week when I was wrapping that vanadinite specimen up again, and after I unwrapped it, what it is to wrap these specimens safely, and it works great. They use toilet paper and just, you saw. And if you missed it, go back to last week's show. And in the end, after I got wrapping it, the way it came out, it looked like a snapping turtle. Turtle. Well, play on words. Mr. Harry was quite clever as he wrote TURD and then space LES, turtles. You know, the English language is a tricky one because it's pronounced pretty much exactly the same. Think about the poor bloke that has to wrap his head around the different meanings and sound the same on that one. So yeah, that's a great one. And the story I told was when I was in Thailand, how outside of public restrooms in the city centers, you have someone that will sell you per each little square, however many you want. You got to say ahead of time, so you kind of got to know. We'll sell you toilet paper there. They don't put it in the restrooms for you because in those kind of environments and countries, they will steal it, of course. So they sell it right out there. So I've never seen that, and it will never be forgotten that seeing that done. But so his play on words there, selling origami snapping turtles. Hoo-hoo! Does fibrous malachite cut up as well as the bullseye malachite? Quick answer, no. He goes on. Or is the structure on the fibrous softer and not as dense? Correct. Oh, bummer alert, bummer alert. I can't tell where to go to see videos what happened on the remainder of the show. Okay, love Harry. Yeah, on the fibrous malachite, due to the way the fibers are and the structure of them, it's not going to polish well, it's not as dense, and it's formed totally different. So I wouldn't even try unless you had some, because a piece of fibrous malachite is so much more expensive than the stalactite or stalagmite malachite formations that create the bullseye effect, which are formed through a different process versus a crystalline process, and end up much denser and great for carving and cutting and those kind of things. So, Miss Cindy. Hello, Rock family. Happy to see the rest. Here's your answer, Harry. The rest of the show. Clarify for me the pseudomorph of the azurite by the malachite. Does the malachite actually penetrate the entire azurite crystal or just coat it? All right, so great question. And what it is just like petrified wood. It actually replaces the azurite molecule for molecule. Now, chemically, they're actually pretty much the same. So they can do that very easily. But yes, and you will get some crystals where only half of the crystal or a portion of the crystal has been replaced by the malachite. So you can get half malachite and half azurite. You can also get it where it does seem to only coat the outside. But that is only because it's taking over of the crystal stopped along the process of it. And, you know, I think about these parasitic creatures that live in the animal kingdom, and how like there's one that a microscopic one that invades an ant's brain and basically takes over the entire function of the ant's mental capacity, and it is just sounds so science fiction horror. I've been into watching especially around the year I was born in 1961, the old black and white, what they call the schlock B movies, and I've just been getting into them, and they're always the creature features, you know, that were up at the drive-ins, which, you know, I'm one of the last in my age group that have even been to a drive-in. My son, he doesn't even know what a drive-in is, and, you know, Raven and I always talked about, if we ever could pull it off, about opening a drive-in again. I think it would be a big hit, and especially in a big metro area that would have the people that to have the draw to something like that. And, you know, with the modern way you can pipe in the sound and everything into a car, and the graphics on the screen would be so much improved. You know, it'd take an investment, but I think it would be a really neat thing to do. So if anybody is interested in opening up a drive-in, That's the only thing outside of the anything oriented with the rocks and minerals Raven and I have thought of that we would think would be a good idea and a moneymaker. And then, of course, during the intermission and popcorn time, up on the screen, flashes, mineral specimens for sale. Yep, got to get them in there somewhere. Popcornite. I tell you what, I got some goethite that looks like popcornite. And by the way, there is no such thing as popcornite, just to let you know. But I don't know. I saw some really weird names, a lot of minerals. There's so many different minerals with different names that people have found that have these most bizarre names on them. And yet, you know, they're real minerals. But you and I will never find them. They're like, you know, well, found in bizarre places or deep in the earth, or, you know, takes certain just the perfect conditions for them to grow and whatnot. But it's amazing how many other minerals that the names have been discovered that we just never come across. So, okay, so hopefully that answers your question there, Miss Cindy. It doesn't penetrate it or coat it. It actually completely replaces it a molecule at a time, just like petrified wood. Petrified wood starts off as wood, and cell by cell, the organic structure of the wood is replaced by the mineral structure of the usually a type of agate or quartz that is replacing it. And that's why you can still see, you know, rings in a slice of petrified wood and whatnot. The replacement is so well done and well preserved. And that's why it's kind of neat to imagine these malachite pseudomorphs, if they were all azurite, what they would look like. It would be just dynamic. All right, so on the trivia, you come really close. Instead of rutile, she says titanium. That's almost acceptable if you would have put titanium oxide, but I'll give you credit for it anyway, titanium, when it's rutile. But you did get the titanium down, so the association was good. And pseudomorph. Everyone take care, be good to yourself, and see you next Monday. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Favorite item of the week was the Congo fibrous malachite. Good choice. Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello all, great show. I got bummed when the show abruptly ended. I need my Shawn fix. Thank you to whoever restored it. It was a team effort. A lot of names involved in putting the show back together. I scored the star sapphire, well done, one of the star rubies, and the lazulite crystal specimen. That one is a hit for you. Make sure you go to the closet with that baby, and you will not be disappointed with the fluorescence, and especially if you have both shortwave and longwave. Love the skull ring you made for the Raven. I started polishing my half of the cat. Somehow it brought out what looks like a bird in the cat's mouth. I kid you not. Wow, that will be neat. We'll have to see an upgraded picture when you're done. Also, that Cavensite Stillbite geode, if you can, anybody can recall the one I referred to as a little grotto. Now is my favorite of my small geodes. I cleaned and looped it. It appears to have tiny Cavensite crystals deep inside. And yeah, that is why magnification is so important, because there's things that you will find and see, including other minerals, that you would never see otherwise. So I recommend not just 10 power, go up into the higher powers. I use upwards of 60 power. I even have a little portable microscope. And actually I may give away one of those. Well, we'll have to see. Trivia, rutile and pseudomorph, so Anthony getting them right. Shawn, thank you and your crew for putting together week after week these podcasts and creating a family that help keep our passion strong. Eyes down, because that's where the rocks are. Anthony, what a kind thing to say, because it is truly a work of effort and passion, really. This team has been consistent, constant, and they care because they know I really care. And I'm going to tell you right now, see this table behind me? from somebody else shooting a show at my desk here. That table got turned around, and on the other side of it, it doesn't have the white trim. Raven had already set up everything back there, but she's working next door for today, but she sets up that. And Lateef, not awesome, Lateef just didn't like it. He didn't like the way it looked. He goes, let's move the table. I said, well, we've already got the specimens, they may fall over. He goes, we'll take care of it, we'll move it. They know I got a bad back. These two youngsters, compared to me, it mattered so much to them, and it bugged Lateef so much that we took a few of the big ones off, and they spun the table around. Man, that is caring, because I thought it was fine. I was willing to let it go. And once I saw the difference, now I see, and it was, of course, the right thing to do to bring you a better looking show. But it was Lateef's insistence and his desire to make it right. And that is impressive to me. And that is the team that we have that brings you this show. This is a group that matters, and I care greatly about the quality that they put out. And they may not get any credit from anywhere else, but they certainly get it from me, because I am so blessed and so complimented by their passion and the fact that they care. And maybe I'm the front man, the face that you see, but I'm like just a miniature part of it. I'm just the voice of it. It's these guys that really bring you the quality show that it takes. And when you see these so many other podcasts on YouTube and whatnot, when I see what it actually takes to bring a proper podcast to you, it's effort, it's time, it's money. These cameras are 5-figure plus cameras, and this is I have the support of a major television network and all the equipment that comes with it. So I am blessed not only to have the quality of the people working the show, but the equipment. Dave set up a big screen TV next to him for this show, so he can see exactly deep into the little vugs or pockets where he can get the focus right and see it better. And it took effort to set it up, and man, this is it. I'm looking at it over here. What a difference it makes for doing exactly what he wants it to do, so he can focus better on those areas that he couldn't see as well. And now he's seeing the way you see it at home, because I know you're watching it on a big screen TV. So now he gets to see exactly how you see it, so he can bring you that picture, because he knows what it looks like. All right. So, Anthony, thanks for the compliment, and it is passed along to these guys here, and it will be to the others as well. Miss Barbara, hi, Professor, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Yay, got to watch the rest of the show on Tuesday. Guess my emails and Miss Gabby's call got the missing piece restored for our buying pleasure. Got to make sure you get the opportunity to make more money. The zeolite I spoke about a few weeks back has a name. The podcast it was in was posted on YouTube yesterday. Clinoptilolite, or Clinoptilolite is the way I am reading the way it spells. It's easier to say Clinoptilolite, but there's a P in there. So Clinoptilolite. I'll get it. It's in tuff, which is Tuff, which is a kind of like a volcanic material. From Barstow, California, ground to a fine powder and currently used in human cleanses. But Aaron from the Natural History Museum of LA and a material scientist researched that it forms such a strong selective bond with lead that it is going to be deployed at a toxic Exide battery plant in LA to mitigate lead soil contamination at a far lower cost and higher efficiency than removal and disposal. That sounds like one for the pretty but mighty zeolites. Yeah, the zeolites are a gift from nature for the way the molecular structure of them is set up. Again, it allows, depending on what zeolite, certain materials to pass through, other ones are blocked. So great for controlling everything from oil spills and onwards. So that is a zeolite I hadn't heard of, but they are creating a lot of synthetic, mass-producing zeolites now that they know the formula, and I'm sure toying with other ones to get the specificity exactly right for the target item that they're trying to sieve out from other materials, because that's what it is. It's a great sponge to soak up or to stop other materials from passing through it. No worries. You pronounced pareidolia perfectly. She's really challenged me on these words. Thank you for chirality, which I gleefully deploy in Mineral Symposium Q&As. I figured I'd return the favor. You are welcome. Yeah, everyone should know what chirality is. It might be in a trivia question, but we covered it a couple of times. As to the trivia, rutile needle, silk, titanium oxide, or TiO2, titanium dioxide. Causes the star in corundum, and pseudomorph describes what occurs when one mineral replaces and takes the form of another, listed as PS on mineral labels. It is truly heartwarming to see the concern and kindness that has evolved amongst the rock family. In this crass, uncertain world, it is nice to enter a haven of love and respect for a few hours each week. Be well all. Barbara from Brooklyn. Wow. You guys, the compliments and the kindness that you're, that says it all. The kindness that you feel coming from the show means a lot to me and the others from their comments as well. So that was very complimentary. Harry says, well, hello again. Well, I don't know what happened, but I had a huge email written in about a bunch of things and answered the trivia questions, and I lost a whole stupid email, which aggravates me, so I'm just going to say this. I mean, isn't that the worst thing that happens? You know what I've done when I've written emails and they've gotten long before? I'll go ahead, hit save, into a draft, and then continue on in case that happens, because it has happened to me so many times. I've even on long text, because I'm known to write long text, and those have just disappeared, or accidentally hit the button or do something to make it go away. I have actually cut and pasted portions of it and then pasted it into notes or somewhere else where I could drag it back out in case it does disappear, because some of them, you just don't retype them. They're never the same when you have to write them the second time. So I feel for you. Question 1, to create a star in corundum, we need to have rutile. Oh, that was it. Also, we need Shawn, because he is a star as well. Wow, Harry. Keep going. I like that. Question 2, when one item is replaced with another, is called a pseudomorph. As an example, the item you showed with what should be deep blue dog-tooth crystals of nice azurite, but they are all now turned green. Pseudomorphed again. Harry says. Yeah, that's right. The thing about it is the malachite replacing the azurite by way of value. If the malachite left the azurite alone, it'd be a more valuable specimen in general. Elisa, Mrs. Lisa in Florida says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven, GSN crew, and Rock family. Miss Barbara, you got the pyrite cube. That is going to make one evil trick indeed. And just in time for Halloween. I can't wait to hear about it. The idea being, what is so usual about that particular pyrite cube in the marl matrix, it's very clay-like matrix, is so many of those cubes just fall out of their place, and so much of the matrix is broken up, or it doesn't, the cube is separated from the matrix, and one doesn't go with the other. In that specimen, it fits so well in there that you could hand it to someone and say, which they are really valuable, these specimens in general. Some can be very expensive, but in general, they're a much more valuable specimen than others, especially when they're in the matrix, because so many of them don't survive that part. So you could hand it to someone, and then, you know, the crystal fall out on them of pyrite, and they will think that after you built up how valuable the specimen, that they broke it. That's mean. But, you know, how many times would we get to do something like that? You know, there's not too many setups in the crystal and mineral business where you could have a little fun and make like they broke it. Great piece to have, and that's what why we had it, was because you can remove that cube and put it right back in, and it looks like it's always been there, which it has. So neat piece. Harry, you are welcome. I just did what was placed on my heart. That was truly providential, and I'm still in amazement over it. Thank you for sharing the update on Susan's treatment. I'll keep her in my prayers. Shawn, I'm sorry to hear about the rough patch with your siblings. I was just having to text one back right before the show started. We won't go any further than that. But I had to stop and say a prayer for calmness before I started the show. Let's just put it that way. Praying for you all. Thank you. The Raven skull ring is very cool. I really liked how you made the hinge. I had to pause the video and zoom in for a better look. Getting my ideas. Very good. I'm glad you noticed that, because all that is, and I really don't know anybody else that has ever used that style hinge but me. I know there's others that do, or have, or maybe, but none that I've ever seen. And all it is I call it just a tension hinge. There is no rivet. There is no soldering involved. It is absolutely secure, and you can adjust the tension. So if you want the skull, the jaw to open and close real easily, or with effort, you can do that as well. And all it is well, watch last week's show, look at the skull ring, and you'll see how it, very basic, but extremely practical, and it makes an invisible movement of the jaw, just like our real jaws are kind of made and hinged together, and why sometimes our jaw can pop out of place. So thank you for that compliment on that part. And you're welcome to steal the idea of the hinge and make your own. All right, answers, Rutile and Pseudomorph, very good. Glad the full show was posted. I'm glad. I am going to go and try to order an item or two. Have a good week, everyone, and stay safe, Miss Elisa. Miss Gabby, greetings, everyone. Not sure you will receive this in time, but have to say, Shawn, we share more than a common passion. I, too, am somewhat shy and withdrawn in a normal setting. But put me with like-minded folks, and I can be Gabby. LOL. John tells people that I'm a different person in such situations. Also, I too feel my gem and mineral families, and I'm blessed to have a few, are just the best. Can't wait to see the upcoming goodies you mentioned. Trivia, Rutile, and Pseudomorph. Best to y'all as always, Miss Gabby. Yep, the good items, I am putting them together. You will be seeing them in the weeks to come, and some of that has to do with negotiations with the Raven to be able to get them. And another one is she needs to find my gem silica that she hid. And it is mine. You know what? I'm not going to tell you the story. I'll tell you the story when I get it. Then I'll tell you the story. Mr. Charles, ciao, Professor Shawn, GSN crew, and Rock family. I'm burning the midnight oil to get my entry in for the week. I really do love the format of this show. It forces me to really pay attention and take notes. Information that would normally go in one ear and out the other gets stuck in the gray matter. Thank you, Shawn, for creating a format where the incentive structure is based in education. I even spent extra time this week learning about clinochlor. Oh, that's a good one to pick to learn about. Thank you to Harry, Anthony, Barbara, Lisa, and Brad for welcoming me to the group. I really do appreciate it. Harry, I hope you are doing well and recovering from your cold. Peggy, I hope your surgery was successful and that you are on the mend. Best wishes to you both. I love the skull ring and look forward to getting to see more of Raven's cool Halloween jewelry. Sincerely, Charles. My favorite specimen is the fibrous malachite. That's both of you favorite item. Trivia answers, rutile and pseudomorph. Well done there, Charles. And we are glad that you are enjoying the format of the show. Gem shopping is set up as basically a show and sell environment, of course. You know, TV time is extremely expensive. We have hundreds of employees here, believe it or not. Yeah. Sometimes it feels just like this little world, but there's a whole nother world going on up above us. And so this show was set up by a CEO friend of mine at the time, and he actually was set up as more of an educational format. We still have to sell items, but it was set up not so much as a show and sell, but as a show and tell. And that's the best way I can describe it. And I hope it stays that way. And we 258 shows, that's over 5 years. So let's keep it, or right at 5 years. So let's keep it going. And your support is needed. So I thank you for getting the items that you do, even when I hate to part with some of them. I have that ruby ring in front of me, by the way, and it's still available for sale, but I am considering memoing it to another vendor that sells beautiful high-end stuff here at Gem Shopping. So you may see it somewhere else. It will not be at the same price. If you're interested in it and want to get it through this show, make that phone call as soon as you can before it gets into another vendor's hands. Then it would be difficult to get it back until they're through with it, and most likely it'll sell in prime time when you have lots of people watching instead of our primary little group. So just a little heads up there if you want to grab that wonderful item. Okay, so let's see. We have, did I get everybody here? We did. We have lots of right answers. And so we pulled the number out of the hat. And this is where the serendipitous nature of the magic to this show comes into play, because there's a particular association of the item I am giving away and the winner. So let me just put it that way. The winner is someone that happens to have a special affinity with this prize. Let's show Miss Gabby what she has won behind door number 1. Look at this. Okay, none other than Mexican cat's eye selenite sphere and crystal. And in the full description, it is from Nika, Chihuahua, Mexico. And Nika being the mine and the mining complex, let's put it that way, where the 50 to 60 foot long crystals, 3 to 4 feet across of selenite, are actively growing. It was a big mining operation that broke into this living geode, and it has been being studied for a number of years and is to be reflooded, because it has to be stayed pumped out. It is about 130 degrees in there. You can only stay about 10 minutes in an ice pack to be able to get in and visit these crystals. And I would love to be a lucky one to get to do that, but only scientists and special observers have gotten to do that. And I am very envious and jealous of that. And this was the item for the day. And Miss Gabby, who loves selenite, and is the winner. So how bizarre is that? Let me show you, for everybody else that isn't familiar. Look at this. This is cat's eye selenite. All right. And it is an amazing eye that it creates. But as we look at this closer, I'm going to show you, it is what I call like nature's fiber optics, because in this direction you can see the eye, but when you turn it in this way, look at this, you have a magnified, let me see, here we go, a magnified version of, oh yeah, on the big screen. Can you focus through there to the marker part and see the lettering? There we go. And so you can see, look at that. Look at how it gives you a magnification, and you can see right through it in that direction. It's also the same way on the other side. And isn't that something? Isn't that something? How fun is that? And then this way, an incredible cat's eye. So I have a stand for it, but this is what they cut them from. Here is a 15-inch crystal. Now, picture this 50 feet long, upwards of 3 and 4 feet across. That is going crisscrossing through this huge room, cave of swords, I think they call it, or a couple of different names. And they're going to continue to let these grow. It was actually breaking in. You know how I always said I wish I was a little person to be able to, get down and investigate these tiny little places in these rocks and minerals? Well, that is what you would feel like if you were in the Nika mine and getting to explore those stunning crystals. So look at that. Now, I know a lot of you will want these. I only had a couple, and I'm not selling them anymore. I did for a number of years. I had actually bought 150 of these, and over the years have sold them all. And I'm down to only a couple few, and only a few of these. So I thought I would only be able to offer them in special giveaways. Look at that. That's amazing. And Miss Gabby happened to be the winner of today's very special item. Congratulations to you, Miss Gabby. Let me clean this up and we'll get right back to the show. Let's segue right to a pseudomorph. Okay, so here it is. Here is another one of the specimens. I was real fortunate to get a flat of these. Actually, I don't know if it was a whole flat, but I was able to get several because the price was right, so I took advantage of it. I don't think they really realized what they had. Now, if you can look and can see this in person, it shows so much better. But these were originally azurite crystals because malachite does not form in this. Let's there now. Let's go in closer, and you can see. There we go. You can see the crystallization much better, and look at that. These are perfectly formed crystals if they were azurite. Malachite doesn't form like that. So, oh yeah, that'll help. Much better. Look at that. Look at the shapes. All these were azurite, and there's not a single azurite left. Ah, there we go. Now we have the entire, much easier to see. Much easier to see. And yeah, what a difference, Dave. Great job. So picture this as beautiful blue azurite crystals. That's what I mean. It'd be really, really gorgeous. But the rarity of it is really rare to have every single one of them replaced by malachite. And what a wonderful large face of pseudomorph crystals. What a great item. Thank you, sir. Now, as we look around the outside, you can see there's other little malachites, but I don't think I saw any azurites. I think this thing, the entire thing, was taken over What a beautiful, beautiful pseudomorph. And I am going to sale price this like there is, you know, a million of them in the planet, but there's not. Let's go ahead and discount this. Now, see, we have Latif here, so he does not like the word discount because he already knows how inexpensive I price items. He's really good about helping me not give things away, but I am going to make a sale on this guy. And let's go ahead. It was $77, true story, which it is well worth that. And that is a discounted price. I'm going to make it $48. $48, and I'm going to put F next to that final price. And if you want something that so few people have, a pseudomorph specimen like that, then, you know, take advantage of it. There's limonite, and this is, guess what? From one of the most desirable locations for mineral collectors to have something from. It's from the Sumed mine in, which is closed, which has been closed. And so the Sumed mine in Namibia, and what a wonderful place to have a specimen to be from. Only $48 on that guy. Now, I have okay, so let me get, okay, wait, let me show you this. So many things. All right. Now, this next item number 107. 0222 107 0222, and let's see what we have. Sometimes I only see the surface and I don't remember what I am looking at. Let's check this out. And remember, you at first thought you might think, oh, what is that? Well, let's look at it a little bit closer. You see the description, seafoam green fluorite. All right, well, let's see. I don't see any seafoam green yet, but I do see some other beautiful fluorites. Look at that. See that? Until you get the light on the crystal, like that, you can't really tell. Get the light on it, and you can see the classic, perfect cubic shape to them. And that wonderful, wonderful surface that you're seeing. And remember, fluorite will, of course, has purple fluorescence, because I've taken this one to the closet. And then that also has calcite. Most calcites will fluoresce as well. So you have that. Ah, look at that. Look at that. That's where you find a little pocket of nicely formed crystals there. Wow, look at the big screen. Yeah, I'm looking on the other screen now. That really looks cool back in there. And as we spin it around, what else can we find? There's often a lot of little fun hidden minerals that you just have to look closer. And if you look close enough on this one, you will find some pyrites. This is from the El Haman mine, so I know exactly where it comes from. And you can see little pyrites dotted around it. And this is one I remember thinking that there was also some other minerals that I did not fully find and discover on this. And like in that area, this would be one, look at that, oh, is that some calcite down in there? You can see the really nice little crystals. And when you get really looking closer, you can see just a number of really nicely formed crystals. So it's funny because this is one, you know, fluorites have a strong color change sometimes. And it's amazing if you've ever seen the color change. And this is the type and color that will have that color change. So in one light I'm seeing it's got a like lavender color, and in another light I'm looking at it and it is that seafoam green. So I am getting that color change as we speak, which is going to allow me to play here for just a minute and see what else I can find in this piece. Because anytime you start doing backlighting, you can find phantoms. You can find anhydro bubbles. You can find other inclusions. Like, as you come through, you can see the light, and then look at the unusual shape to that crystal that you wouldn't normally see. And then over here, this is when you get out and you play with your rocks and minerals. And you just don't do it in one light. You do it in all kinds of different lights and environments. And no telling what you will find. Thank you, sir. So the discovery can be yours. This also, if you wanted to, you could either run a saw through it or take a little light hammer and break some of this off. You know, I showed Raven many years ago, because she really didn't kind of believe me. I had a perfect octahedron in the fluorite, you know, those perfect bipyramidal crystals. And I told her if I hit that correctly, since it has perfect threefold cleavage, that I could make other baby ones. And she said, no. And I said, yes. And I hit that, and I got lucky. I hit it in just the right spot. That's why back in the days of cleaving a diamond was so important. You could either spend days sawing through it with the old primitive equipment, or you could tap it in just the right place and just split the diamond perfectly along the cleavage plane. Or just destroy it if you got that part wrong. So I hit that little octahedra right, and boy, boom, it popped into other little baby cubes and other little octahedras, and she still talks about it to this day, how magical that was. All right, so here's a fun specimen, and I'm going to offer it at a fun price. Huge markdown. I'm going to make this one only $21. $21. And that way you can have a lot of fun. It's also from a very desirable mine and well-known location for producing stunning specimens. Okay, now, let's see. See, some of these I don't even know. This is item number 1078522. 1078522, and I see what it says on it. Let's see what's inside of it. Oh, look at this one. Okay, this is a great piece. Wow. All right. Now, I happen to know that Charles, because I remember him saying, our new member of the group, got the large flat, the very large flat specimen of the smoky quartz and feldspar piece that was from this same location. And this is really a fantastic smoky quartz. This is from Colorado. Colorado, along with the Amazonites, is known to produce wonderful smoky quartz. And let's look at the hematite. The hematite on this one isn't your regular hematite. There is specular hematite on this, and you can see that as all these little sparkles. And some of these look like they've grown on the exterior of the crystal. Look at that. That is really cool. You can see the quartz crystals with the specular hematite on this. And this, look at that growth. This is real unusual. And I want to try something on this. I wanted to do it last time, but I didn't get to play. Let me see if there is much light penetration into this quartz, because it was such a saturated color. And you have to watch that, because they radiate a lot of smoky quartz, and it ends up to be almost black. These are not and have not been radiated. They're natural color. Yeah, okay, so we're getting light penetration there, but the saturation is so strong that it light barely passes through this piece. Thank you, sir. And so, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so something like this, you may say, well, but it's go find another one. Look at this crystal coming off of there. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's just it. Go find another one. Oh, look at that. I love that skeletal formation like that, where the crystal grows at different rates, creating that. So that's actually a really kind of a desirable formation. Look at this. Look at that, how it comes up. So yeah, Charles recognized that other one as something special and got it. Here is a chance to add to that collection if you want it, or anyone else. How about this? You're gonna love the price. Remember, we discount items if I show them again the second time around, in most cases. And this one, yep, we're marking it down, $21. Only $21 on that guy, and you'll end up with something that, well, nobody else will have. Okay, let me have a moment and tuck these away. I'll be right back. Now, this was a surprise that it did not find a home. This is that, well, the finest form of labradorite in the world is spectrolite from Finland. This is a wire-wrapped piece, and it is still available. It's on a leather cord with a silver catch, and it's sterling silver wrapped, as you can see, wrapped all the way around. And look at that. Look at that labradorescence. That is some of the most beautiful labradorescence there is, because the spectrolite, which is the name given to only labradorite that is of a higher quality. Pretty much it should only be reserved for labradorite from Finland. I've seen some high-end Madagascan labradorite that they try to call spectrolite, but I do not consider it spectrolite. I only consider something to be called spectrolite if it is from Finland. And we got this actually from a Finnish dealer that it's all he sold was this material, and his table that he had was at a irregular show, not one of the main shows, and he was there the first day, he was there the second day, the third day he was gone. They said he totally sold out. Now, I had something to do with that the first 2 days and picking up items from him, but his items were so desirable. So look at this. Okay, it's kind of cool. I love the way it was wire wrapped and held in. I think it's kind of neat that it was not polished, but you can still see that incredible formation. Now, you can see how dark the base color is, just like a black opal. That darker base color brings out the fire in opal. It will also bring out the play of color in spectrolite. Now, so you can see it goes all the way through. Now, here's the cool thing. See that shape? That shape follows through to this side. Now, I am going, since this is back, I am going to discount this from the original price, and I am going to throw in something really, really special. I have shown you this item. I talked about it before. It was something that I discovered myself, and it'll help explain this crystal, this growth pattern that you see. I was driving down a main road, and Miss Gabby will know the road. It's Highway 369, and there was construction going on. And remember, I always talk to you about, check out the construction sites on weekends. That's where they're turning new ground, and a place for you to explore. And so in our area of Georgia, if I'm ever questioned, I call myself a forensic historical geologist. And that usually spins anybody questioning's head around so much that they really don't know what that is. But what I actually do is I'm called out to many different holes in the ground. And I've explored many of them. I've showed you pictures before. And I determine whether they're an old well, an old mine shaft, a old outhouse hole, which I've been in, etc. And so I'm one of the crazy ones that will go down in these holes in the ground. And in North Georgia, due to the first gold rush being here and the gold belt coming right through North Georgia, there is a lot of holes in the ground. Oftentimes when they're doing these big site constructions, which they are doing now for these housing developments that are going crazy, they'll break into these old tunnels and veins, and or at least break into hard rock deposits, and that's where who knows what you can find. So this one, on a weekend, I saw dirt was piled up in a funny, unusual way. I parked, I walked out to it, and when I saw there was a trench dug, I knew right then that they were chasing something, a vein, and sure enough, it was a feldspar vein, and AKA moonstone. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you. You see how bright that is? That is stunning. Let me show you what I found. I found the largest single feldspar, and this happens to be orthoclase feldspar crystal I've ever discovered. And you can see this adulorescence or moonstone effect lightly glowing off the surface. If I polish that, it would increase it. Look at the shape. Look at this shape to it, and then let's compare it to the shape that you see in the spectrolite. And spectrolite is just a type of feldspar. And so you can see the monoclinic shape to the crystal of orthoclase and how similar it is to that. And I am going to include this piece, so I'll have to update the information on the tag. If you get this free, and it is found. It'll be found by Shawn. It'll be the largest feldspar, and in this case, orthoclase crystal I've ever discovered, and it's pretty neat. I discovered it. Now, let me put that down for a minute, and let's look at this a little closer, because this is going to be heartbreaking actually to give it away. Because I got to looking at this, and there is some really, look at this. Let me show you. Look at that. That is, well, minimal, a smoky quartz crystal. Maximum, it could be something much cooler, like maybe a zircon, because they are found. You know, if that's, I'm really a dummy. Anyway, before I figure out, you know, they have, that's very zircon looking. And you saw from the Jones mine how the zircons are found with and associated with feldspars. So you never know. So I am going to include this in the sale, and I'm going to discount this piece. It was, because I need, you know, it's, well, this is one of those situations where over all the time that, you know, Raven and I have collected and everything, we don't have any money in the bank. Our money was always in specimens. And it was a much better place to put it over many, many, many years. So now it's converting those items back into money. But that's heartbreaking, because you get attached to these things and you don't want to let them go. But I am. And you do me a favor if you take this out of our hands and convert it into money. I am going to, it was $288. That was an incredible value. I have it. I'm going to do this. And it'll be the lowest I'll be able to go. I mean, this is wire wrapped in silver, the whole works. I'm going to make this only $248. And you get the free crystal that I discovered myself to go with it. This is a Forsyth County crystal of feldspar with an unknown there, but I'm just going to say smoky quartz, but it can be figured out. There's another, what's this, Dave? Can you zoom in on that? Is that mica? Oh boy, it better, yeah. Okay, so we have a blade of mica, most likely muscovite as well. So yeah, what a neat story to the entire piece, the item and the discovery, wow, look at that, of it and how I found it. And I was thrilled. So I was digging down in this, where they followed this mine, and they didn't find it. They didn't know what to look for. I walked in and I found this within minutes. And there wasn't much anything else too exciting there, but that is a large feldspar crystal, and that's going to go with that discovery. So what a beautiful piece. It has a wonderful, wonderful, simple design in the wire wrapping, and look at that. What a large, impressive piece of spectrolite. $248 with the cord, which has a wonderful lobster sterling silver claw clasp leather cord, which you can easily take off and use it on other items or put something else on that to wear. So grab that while you can, and there's not going to be another spectrolite offered anything like that. And to get the item that I discovered to go with it, wow, that's a treat. Let's look at item 1079722. Here was the other item. We were both surprised that we had it, because this is going into the season, and if you need a cool present for, well, any guy, which it's tough to find items for guys, or a woman, or your grandchildren, your son-in-law, you know, anything like that. Here, and you don't think they wear jewelry, they may not wear jewelry, but I tell you what, especially here in Georgia, there is so many outdoorsmen, let's call them, outdoorsmen, including people that hunt, people that, you know, fish, that this goes perfect. Plus, we are steeped in Native American history in this area, with the story of the Cherokee and the Muskogee and many other Native American tribes. This is a wonderful hand-knapped arrowhead. Now, I wish I could say I actually found it. I live literally right along the Trail of Tears, no more than a half mile off the official trail of, where, you know, the historic markers. It's right there, very close to my home, where the Trail of Tears, where they marched and rounded up the Indians and marched them all the way to Oklahoma. Well, you can't take a woodland Indian and put them in the plains and expect them to survive. Hence the Trail of Tears. Many of them died along the way. The rest died many died on the reservation. The band that took off and went up to Cherokee, North Carolina, they were so deep in the woods they couldn't route them out, and you have the separate entity of the Cherokee band of, I think they call them the Northern Band of the Cherokee Indians, that live at the edge of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. And I've been there, I've been fishing on there, and you actually have to go and get a separate fishing license from the tribal center to fish on the area. It is stunning, beautiful mountains, great area, and I could just see how the Cherokee could have gotten away to that area and not been routed out, because there's steep mountains and not much made for non-Native Americans not used to that kind of territory. Of course, now there's gambling and all the other things that the white man bring to those type of situations, because they have to find a living somehow. And I think they discovered it with with casinos. But whatever works so that they can maintain their identity, because I'm all for the Native American communities across this country. That's one of our boo-boos we made along the way. Anyway, this is neat. I don't speak English well. This is a sterling silver wire wrap pendant, 20-inch cord. It is an arrowhead made out of chalcedony. And boy, if you actually wanted to use this, it is sharp. It is sharp, and it is very well hand napped for attachment to an arrowhead. And there are hunters that will only use primitive weapons, including pieces like this. But as a great gift for someone that you need a guy present for, here is one. I am discounting this one as well down to a opportunity of, well, you know, this cord, these aren't inexpensive, because I used to sell these by themselves. Every single one I could ever get would sell, and they'd sell for 15 to 20 bucks a piece. You have the lobster claw clasp. So when you factor that much in for the cord, the price of the entire thing of only $38 is not a lot of money. So grab that. There's not another one like it, and you will make some guy really happy, or yourself, because there is nothing wrong, ladies, with you all wearing those as well. Let's look at item 107-8422. 107-8422, and I always like it when I wrap these up, because it's when I open them, it's kind of a prize for me. Okay, yeah. Look, all right. Here's the last one we have of the one similar to the same other smoky quartz I showed you, but this one, smaller version. The real large one is the one that I think that Charles had gotten. Well, look at this. Okay, so you have, look at that. So you have a hematite covered item. Look at that wonderful termination. And as we come in close on this, you can see the beautiful specular hematite. Look at that. Yeah, that's not your everyday hematite that's like a coating or a red. You do see some of that here. Let me see, I'm curious. I have my super powerful magnet. If there is, no, just like pyrite. You think items, if they contain iron, are always going to be magnetic, but that's not the case. And I'll get into the science of that another time. So this, another one of those pieces that it's like, wow, that's different. Where can I get one of those? Well, you can't. There's really so few available. I was really thrilled to be able to get the few pieces that I did. Here, this one, I am discounting as well. Let's make it only $21. $21 on that. And a piece that it's just, you don't see it. Go find a smoky quartz with specular hematite kind of thing. And feldspar. Feldspar is the other growth that you see on there. The one that I think Charles had gotten was stunning feldspar crystals. He got the big, really nice one. So well done to Charles. But Charles, if you want to add a couple items like this to display around that other one, that's always a neat idea to do, and one that works out real well in doing that. All right, I have a rarity here, 1066522. 1066522. And if you do not have any of this material yet, well, it's one of what we call what Miss Barbara coined the Pakistani 4, which means it's going to be either pink apatite, it's going to be a sphene, it's going to be possibly triplite. And in this case, triplite it is. And look at this. This is actually one of the nicest specimens I had of triplite in matrix. It's very hard to find matrix specimens of triplite, especially when they're associated with quartz. You've seen enough of it where the material just, it does not crystallize well. It's in these, it's almost amorphous the way the crystals look, but they are crystals. This one in the quartz, let me show you. Here is the beautiful color that triplite is known for. Look at the pinks and the oranges. Look at that. Isn't it? That's gorgeous. So in this piece, yeah, you might be able to facet a stone out of that, but it also is, wow, look at that. Well, I don't know. I might facet a stone out of there instead of leaving it in the quartz. So I take that back. Thank you, sir. Boy, that's pretty. That is really pretty. Oh, I'm looking on the big screen now. That is really good looking. I think there's a stone in there that could be cut. You know, Anthony got a 41-point triplite out of one of those pieces before that I had, that he got. And the 41-point triplite was, the value was far beyond anything he paid for the material. So look at this. This is interesting matrix material, and then look at the quartz striations on the piece. All right, so I'm going to make someone a special opportunity on this. If I had the time, I would probably actually cut it. So, but I'm working on, I know we have Brad wanting the axonite. And Brad, I'm going to tell you on that axonite, and I have an embarrassing story to tell you. Ever since I brought that other axonite and showed you, here's the issue. I haven't been able to find it. I put it somewhere and I can't find it. I know, I need to find it. I've been wanting to cut it. But put that aside. I have, well, I saw it called, oh, I got to keep from laughing, Khyber Valley Peridot. The other day being offered. Khyber Valley Peridot. There's no such thing as the Khyber Valley. Sorry to burst anybody's bubble, but there's the Khyber Pass, which goes into Pakistan. Basically what it is Pakistani peridot that was found up high in the Khyber Pass. There is no Khyber Valley. It just, I think, sounded better than Khyber Pass. And these names are created for marketing purposes when they're not accepted by the trade. The actual name of the peridot should just be Pakistani peridot. And the origin then would be the Khyber Mountains, something like that. But not to name it something that doesn't exist. There's no Khyber Valley. It's Khyber Pass. But anyway, that's just me getting, being me. Price on this guy, so what I was saying is I have peridot from Pakistan, some nice material that I want to cut, and I've started preforming some of it and want to cut on some of that. So I may be working on some of that, and I am going to find that axonite piece. I have these bags I carry that I have lots of little compartments, and I just need to go through them because I know I stuffed it in one of them. All right, here you go. Here's this wonderful piece of triplite, and let's mark it down one more time and make it $15. Come on, $15? That, you know, if I looked at this, look at the irises in this. There could, look at that. Wow, I'm looking on your screen, Dave. That's incredible. Yeah, those are beautiful. There is always, especially coming to Pakistani material and whatnot, the opportunity for anhydrous, for water bubbles. This one, because of the surface, kind of difficult to see. Backlight it, and move it back and forth. Look all over. See, there's something dark right there. And I can't really tell what it is, but it could be some really cool inclusion of some type of crystal. Remember, there's also the hydrocarbon quartz that is coming out of the Tibetan area and whatnot. And so you never know what you might find. That triplite, that in quartz like that, is out of all the triplites that I have, is the only one like that. And to sell it for only $15 is an insult to that poor little triplite. Let me show you. Item 104-2821. 104-2821. And this is one you probably do not have in your collection. It is in a perky box, I think it's called. Miss Barbara telling me the name of it. Okay, check this out. Check this out. Analcime. It is Oregon analcime. It is a rare collector crystal. It's the Greek word is based on analkimos, and Miss Penny will straighten me out. And it means without force because it has a weak electrical field. It'll come with the labeled box and couple ways, different ways to pronounce it, but analcime is one of them. And look at, it even has another original label from Price Peak, Oregon. Look at the crystallization of this item. This is a real beautiful collector's piece. And as we go in close, you can see just how well developed those crystals are. What a great piece from my Made in America collection with a old label, an older box, and then you'll have the additional label. So really the labels tell the story. Make sure you always hang on to those, even when they're modern, like the ones I put on. All right, price on this guy, let's mark it down. Believe it or not, I am going to offer this now for $28. That's a big, serious discount to that piece. Now, let me find this. Yep, here we go. I have a treat. 107-9122. 107-9122. And this, I love these. I love when I see tourmalated quartz. And the tourmaline is that big. Look at those crystals. And the tourmaline isn't black. It's wonderful green tourmaline. There's some bicolor tourmaline in this. And what a incredible paperweight it could make. I'm looking at two different screens here. It could be sawed in a, look at that coming up there, to create thin slices with the tourmaline in it. You just have to kind of be bold, and if you want to do that, and just start slicing into it. And when you see what you come out with, you'll love it. Let's go in and see what these are. Look at that. Okay. Wow. Hematite dendrites. Hematite dendrites are what you have. And look at them. That in itself, by itself, makes it really, really cool and unusual. But there is something else. And let's see if we can find them. Yes, you can find them because Okay, look at all these little reflections. You see these little reflections you're seeing? Well, I have not seen these in any other piece of quartz until this one. This is the first time I have seen tourmalated quartz with acroite, clear tourmaline crystals within the quartz. Look at that. There's another regular crystal. Look at this one coming up though, the big green tourmaline. But you see all these little reflections? Can we go any closer to those, Dave? Okay. Then look at the irises. And look at how that tourmaline is jutting out. But again, you run into these. Now, what I have not totally figured out are these little white clusters. Let me see on my other notes, because I have notes always. Because I take a lot of time to figure this stuff out, and if I don't write it down, I don't always remember. I like when it leaves a skeletal place where a crystal was. You can see where another crystal was here. Look at those dendrites. So that is just something I haven't seen. So the dendrites are different. The acroite, in other words, acroite's the word for clear tourmaline inclusions. That's something I haven't seen. You can see a light blue color to the bicolor on those green tourmalines. Now look at this. What do we have? That is blue. What is that? Look at that. Wow. What is that? Huh. I was going to say it was indicolite tourmaline, a blue tourmaline. But that has an unusual reflection coming off of that. I don't see right off the bat where it looks like a mica. So, wow, look at this. This is a crystal on top of it, because you can see that shape to that. And looking at Dave's big screen TV. What a wonderful item to have a lot of fun with on exploring. Here is a two-tone crystal, and I am wondering what other light, what other wavelengths of light would actually do to some of these. Lots of exploration will and can be done on this. Look at all those little reflections. This is a marvelous piece, and someone can have a lot of fun with that, and it makes an incredible display specimen, if nothing else. Wow, that would really tempt me, though, to take some thin slices. You know how I like to do that. All right, here we go. Big time discount. Big time discount. I am going to mark it down. You didn't like the $118. That was a great price. Let's go to one of my favorite numbers, $88. $88 on that. Grab it while you can. There's not another one. And, you know, to have all those goodies, the hematite, the acroite, yeah, that's got a lot to offer. Now, let me see. Oh, okay. What do we have? A wonderful vanadinite specimen. But I showed you a couple of those last week. You should grab them. Now, oh, there is, if someone wanted a beautiful zircon piece, it had a red Pakistani zircon. But you know, let me show you. This is what I do for you guys. Okay, here's a zircon specimen. When I draw that on the bag, that means something. The CPM 1K means something else as well. It kind of goes with that. That is counts per minute, 1,000. Well, that kind of goes above my break at 500. that is my primitive radioactive signal. This is an amazing red zircon, but it has a radioactive signature higher than what I'm willing to sell it. Unless you wanted to buy it. If you collect those kind of items, they often will fluoresce wonderfully and do all kinds of other cool things. But it's not something I would normally sell. Let me show you. Here's a funny piece. 973620. So anyway, yeah, you know I have the Geiger counter. And you know I have all kinds of other cool equipment to be able to check and test these things so that items don't wind up in your hands. You know, I have seen things sell that shouldn't. I wound up with a specimen, Shawkingerite. I kid you not, that's the name of it. And I had no idea what it was. It just came with a bunch of other specimens in perky boxes, an old collection. And Shawkingerite. Okay, well, that's cool. And then I kind of, before I looked it up, I just automatically do a fluorescent test on it, and I put the Geiger counter to it. Man, the Geiger counter like went off the chart. Let's look. Yeah, okay. So went off the chart, and it happened to be a very radioactive mineral. But unless I would have had the Geiger counter, I would have never known. And who knows? Maybe I would have slept next to it or something. But these things are important. Here is a citrine. And let me show you what it looks like in real color. Wow, beautiful stone. And I didn't cut it, but it would be one that I would be proud enough to cut. Look at that. Yeah. Great cutting. This is natural color. There's so little citrine that's natural color out there. Here, you want something, think about the time it would take Anthony to cut this. And I am, instead, I'm going to insult all of the cutters by selling it for, ready, set, $9. $9. And, you know, for that, it's worth it just to, look at that, just to have, you know, citrine used for the November birthstone, because actual topaz is far more too expensive to really offer for sale. Oh, here is, I don't have time right now, but I wish I did. Here is a sapphire that has, oh, I want to show you guys. Well, let me just flash it real quick so you can, okay, you see that star? Isn't that amazing? This has a 3-phase inclusion in it. It has a mica crystal that floats in water back and forth in an air bubble in it. I kid you not. I'm going to photograph it. Needless to say, it's not for sale at the moment, but it may be at some time. But look, and did you see how beautiful that star is? Yeah, so I've got lots of tricks for you guys as time keeps going on here. 104-8122, 104-8122, and as the clock ticks down on us, I need to be hustling it here, get as many things as I can before you. And here is a couple of really nice pink tourmaline crystals. And these are wonderful to do drop pendants, drop earrings with, to add just to a tourmaline collection. And these are from Papra, Afghanistan, well-known location for some beautiful, beautiful tourmalines. And the two stones, how about this? Both of those for a price, let me get my marker here. Okay, here we go. Discount, huge discount. Let's go from $28. How about this? $18 for both. $18 for both. Wow. Now, let's look at item 102-7721. 102-7721. And let's see what we have here. And it looks like, ooh, wow, this is pretty. This is pretty. This is real pretty. Look at that. Congo malachite. Congo, which is really the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And you can see, green, of course, always difficult to shoot, but you can see microcrystals of malachite. And when you look at this really close, the malachite is actually almost transparent and individual, just really unique. Look at the little bit of azurite back in there. Just a really nice, fun specimen to add to your collection. And at a price easily affordable, because how about this? I am going to make that guy a deal you can't refuse. $8. $8 on that. Yeah, we have priced things in every price range. Okay, let me turn around behind me. I wanted to, show this. No, I wanted to show this. Made from the Made in America collection. This is item number 1008521. 1008521. Now, this next item is a piece that I would normally never think that the United States had such a thing, but it does, and it stands on its own, as you can see. Connecticut prehnite, and I'm talking about really nice quality prehnite. This is one of those specimens that is really fun to look into. All the cracks, crevices, it has cutting quality prehnite. As we come in on this, you can see that lots of goodies to look at. Way back in there. Look at those crystals way back in there. So you have, your botryoidal kind of formations of the prehnite, that the way it's commonly seen. You have clear calcites. Look at all these pockets. And this is in basalt. And some were found along road cuts in the area up there in New Jersey and Connecticut. Can you imagine finding something like that in a road cut? You can see how the radial formation of how these spheres will form. And you can see when they're split or broken what that looks like. And then, if I remember correctly, if you look at this real closely, I think there is some pyrite in some different places. I can assure you there's other minerals to be found and explored. Could be some epidote even I'm seeing there. But, wow, look at that. Look at that down in there. This is a magnificent specimen from the Made in the USA collection. And the price, here we go. I am looking at it so I can make it a big time bargain for you. And how about this? Oh, wow. Okay. How many could you ever find or have or see offered for $48? Only $48 on that. That is a jewel, a real jewel. Now, let me show you. This has been back behind me. This is cabinet quality piece. Let me show it. 1075222. 1075222. This, you can't, we got to always have a zeolite. Remember, I got you all on the prehnite. A lot of you thought prehnite was a zeolite. Nope. Here is a zeolite. Look at the size of this. This is stunning. This has so many cool things going on about it. It is stilbite, lomentite, and quartz, except, wait a minute, I think that was the wrong label. With that, we had spun the table around, and let me see. I think I got a wrong item because I do not. Okay, well, let me show you something else because I don't want. All right, that we have to talk about. You know what? Keep it right there. That goes with this one. That goes with this one. We'll talk about this later, so I'll move this. What I want to show you really quickly, this is stunning. Look at the size of this. Look at the stilbites. This is the one that goes with that item number. This has incredible stilbite, lomentite. Now remember, I talked to you before about the lomentite and what to look for. Lomentite often sneaks in on these zeolites and you don't know what it looks like. Let me show you. Once you start seeing them, you'll see them. They are these white crystals with often the ends of them have a diagonal termination. You'll see a couple right there. As we move around, you can see the zeolites of the classic stilbites that you've seen before. And mixed in is also quartz crystals that you'll see. And, oh, let's look over here. Let me show you. Look at this one crystal and the quality of it. Look at that classic, beautiful bow tie formation. Look at that. And then, oh, here we go. Here we go. Here is, see that right there is lomentite. Right there is lomentite. Now, you got to watch. There's a lomentite. See the diagonal terminations on the end? You have quartz mixed in between. And then that's not all. This sits perfectly like you see it now, right? And look at the clarity. Look at the clarity to this. So you have peach, and then look at this clear stilbite up here. Look at all these quartz crystals that you have mixed around. But wait, there's more. Look at this other side. This is an incredible piece because this entire other side is of display quality. Look at these beautiful, beautiful formations of quartz sprinkled with stilbites. This is a stunning world-class specimen. Beautiful, beautiful quality. I am sure that there are some other fun zeolites to be discovered on this. I could only spend so much time in studying it. We had this right at the entrance to our home for a long time, and I took it. I took it, but we'll be bringing you some more items from that same area, which has got some beautiful display pieces that I'll part with. All right, this one I am going to mark it down, big sale price, well worth only the $288 that I offered it for. It's 18 pounds. How about this? I am going to take a large discount because I need more money. Make it $188. I kid you not. $188. If the desperation sounds like in my voice, well, you're right. There is. Now, I only have a moment, but let me show you. I'm not. Don't officially pull up and take a shot of this because it's not going to be on the memo. I just want to show it one more time in case anybody wants to call in before I put this with another vendor. But here's the ruby ring. Here is that ruby ring and the incredible color. I made it many, many years ago. It's stamped S99, so I made it in 1999. It's platinum, and I got it from, a Burmese jewelry dealer that I made it for. And I said, if you ever want to part with it, and his partner had passed away, and so he did, and he sold it back. Actually, Raven made payments to him for it over quite some time, and had gotten that. And you've seen me wear it for years and years. So anyway, the price is a non-negotiable opportunity if you're interested at $4,448. So I'm not putting it on the official memo today and tie it up, but if you are interested in this, just call in when you see this show and take advantage of it, and then make it yours, because there won't be another one like it. It's a stunning, stunning ruby. And the one other cool thing that I did with it, there is a site you can go to, and you put in the measurements, and it calculates the carat weight. So if we look right here real quickly and come in on this, you can see you put in the measurements of it. There's the profile factor, percent of the bulge on the back side. Here's the description of it, and then it will give you the approximate weight of 4.653 carat. Because the I made it for someone else. The weight the weight got lost along the way. So it was always to be a Burmese and mentioned, and from a Burmese dealer. So as a Burmese ruby, it certainly has the Burmese color, and it has the little surface fissures that come to the surface, telling you that it is not a glass-filled ruby. It's the real deal. Beautiful, beautiful piece. So just want to show you that again. Call in on it before the opportunity is not available to you. And I think I have time. One more item to show you, and then we have to wind the show down. All right, let's look at item 1072922. 1072922. And here is a incredible from, wow, these big heavy specimens. How about 18 pounds? It's not that heavy. But look at this, Reynolds County. This is Missouri. This is made in America calcite right here. And look at these crystals. Beautiful, beautiful crystals of calcite. A wonderful color to them. It's on the classic chert, which is a relative of the flint family. It looks like beautiful material. And look at the size of these calcite crystals. Classic yellow color, classic shape to some of them. And what a nice display item. How about this? I am going to make that one super sale priced. You won't believe this. How would you like that to add that to your collection for only $48? $48. All right. That's going to wrap up the show. I am going to come back with trivia questions, so get ready. Okay, so time was up. Didn't get as many items shown as I did, but everything I showed, big discount by way of percent. Take advantage of it. I have got new goodies I've got to process. This week was a weird, difficult week. We won't even go into it, yeah. So, and poor Dave is sitting here trying to get back to his mom today because his grandmother passed away, and his mom has no one to talk to or work it out. And you know, he's working here, so I can you know, I admire his sticking to it here, but I hope he can get home to his mom to comfort her and work that out. So, okay, 2 quick trivia questions. Ready? What name is given to tourmaline that has no color? In other words, is what they refer to as clear white. And, you know, in tourmalines, a lot of different minerals in their purest form will actually be clear, like like the barrel or so many others, and some of the grossular garnets. So one of the rarest garnets there are is the Leuco garnets, the clear white ones, and but there's a particular name given to tourmaline that has no other colors, and it is the tourmaline inclusions in that incredible piece that I featured that also had the hematite, had the dendritic hematite, which is really cool. So what is the name of tourmaline that has no color? It is free of color, given a particular name. All right, question one. Question number two. So speaking of hematite, that has to do with question number two. Hematite that has a unique reflective sparkle is given a particular adjective to it. It is called what kind of hematite? So it is called blank hematite. What kind of hematite? And we showed it on a specimen today, two of them, that were the smoky quartz pieces. But again, the rules, you can take notes, don't go back and look, just use your memory. That way you will learn something from these presentations, and then you'll be going to shows and you'll know, as Elisa has said before, she is able to recognize and know so many things when she goes and looks at these things at shows now. Things aren't so foreign looking. And I've gotten a lot of other comments where people feel so much more confident in looking at items because they recognize it, they've seen it before, they're familiar with it, they know it's genuine, and it's because of the wide variety we show. So take advantage of the items, big discounts. I got to do what I got to do. So again, hematite that has a unique reflective sparkle is called what blank type of hematite. All right, good luck. Happy Halloween to all of you. And I didn't get a chance to show you the rings for today. This one is mine. That is a Siberian Skodolin meteorite ring, which might be for sale. A lot of you I know would probably want that. And this borrowed ring, which, let me see, I think you can see it probably on your big screen TV, is a bat ring that I borrowed from the Raven. And I didn't get a chance to show you the other items that she had on. She was supposed to make it over here, but she must be busy prepping for the show with Sam, who she works with. So, all right. Again, I thank all of you for your support, your kind comments, and have a safe, happy Halloween. And I look forward to seeing you again next Monday. And if the show ever does what it did again, then, you know, do call in, do mention it to, as I know, Miss Barbara and Miss Gabby are my pit bulls for making sure that if there's a show to post, that it gets posted, and all of it gets posted, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the fact that it matters to all of you. I need that. I need that support. I need all of your kind and loving comments. I love you all back, and I hope you're enjoying the fall and everything beautiful that it brings. And so yeah, take care, all of you, and I'll see you next Monday.